When you hear the land of honor and integrity, Ekiti State readily comes to mind. And yes, that is where this special edition of Metrofile will be coming from. And this is my first time here, and I'm loving it and loving the fact that we're here to celebrate a distinguished Nigerian, an elder statesman, and a man who served God in his own right. I'm talking about the former governor of Old Ondo State, His Excellency, Evangelist Bamidele Ishola Olumilua. Now, Evangelist Olumilua died on the 4th of June 2020, and we are here to celebrate the life and times of this great man. And a series of activities are lined up to celebrate his life, which began with a plenary session at the Ekiti State House of Assembly, a commendation service in Akure, the Ondo State capital, and we are here in his ancestral home, Ikere Ekiti, where other activities to celebrate his life will take place. Well, welcome to Metrofile, and kindly watch out for flash images while we do that. I'm Ogechukwu.
Here's a story of a teacher, diplomat, businessman, politician, and former executive governor of Old Ondo State, His Excellency Evangelist Bamidele Ishola Olumilua. Of all these achievements, Evangelist Olumilua was most importantly a husband, father, and grandfather. To those who know him and are aware of how he journeyed this road called life, they attest to the fact that he enriched the lives of many. For 80 years, he brought joy to his world, and after his passing on the 4th of June 2020, his loved ones decided to honor his memory and celebrate his life in a unique way. The celebration begins with a special plenary at the Ekiti State House of Assembly, attended by his wives, Teresa, Bolatito, Oluwayimika, as well as his children.
In politics, he exuded and exhibited a kind of high spirit of togetherness. Whether you were or you are APC or whatever, he made sure he brought everybody together.
Continue to lead all of us, not only in Kenya, not only in Ekiti, not only in Ondo State, but the whole of Nigeria.
He was a true Democrat. Democrat indeed. He gave us free hand in the House of Assembly, like what I'm witnessing.
Our father spent a significant portion of his life in service to God and service to the highly esteemed people of Ekiti. It was his great desire to see the development and economic emancipation of his people.
As governor of Old Ondo State, out of which Ekiti was carved, the indigene of Ikere Ekiti in today's Ekiti State is honored at a commendation service in Akure, the present-day capital of Ondo State.
This man, why now?
The host governor, Rotimi Akeredolu, joins the family during this celebration.
He served Ondo State meritoriously, despite a short stay in office as a result of the military coup that brought General Sani Abacha's led regime. It is worth mentioning that it was during his tenure as governor that the status of Ondo State changed and became an oil-producing state.
And with that, the commendation service ends. The Ondo State Governor escorts the family and the remains of their father to the state's border with Ekiti State, where Governor Kayode Fayemi receives them, a memorable moment for the family. And from here, all other activities take place in his home state of Ekiti. So it's the turn of the Ekiti State government to honor one of their own, an illustrious son of the soil.
To thank Mr. Governor for your contribution to this program and for personally receiving the confidence today at a very short notice.
So that each of us may receive what is due us for the things done while in the body, whether good or bad.
Truly I tell you, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me. Then he will say to those on his left, depart from me, you who are cursed, into the eternal fire, prepared for the devil and his angels. For I was hungry, and you gave me nothing to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me nothing to drink. I was a stranger, and you did not invite me in.
Was a man of unimpeachable integrity, who was never attracted to greed and avarice,
I never used his privileged position for nepotistic advantage. And I'm sure even his children will have many stories to tell us about how they were never given any preferred treatment simply because they were children of the government.
On behalf of the family, I thank you for gathering here today to celebrate with us, to celebrate the life and times of our father. Our prayer for everyone is that as you have been a blessing to us, the Lord himself will bless you exceedingly abundantly.
I'm short of words. The last civilian governor of Ondo State, an uncommon patriot, very sober and sane. I had the good fortune of contesting the SDP ticket with him in the old Ondo State. I was his hottest rival, but we were very close. I was a member of his family, and so I will miss him.
A good man, a man who contributed in no small measure towards the growth and development of Ekiti and Ondo State. Now, we're not done just yet. When we return, we continue to celebrate the life and times of evangelist Bamidele Ishola Olumilua.
Tributes pour in from far and wide, including from Vice President Professor Yemi Osinbajo, former President Olusegun Obasanjo, former Military President Ibrahim Babangida, Governors of Lagos and Ogun State, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu and Dapo Abiodun, the Ooni of Ife Oba Adeyeye Ogunwusi, the Ogoga of Ikere-Ekiti Oba Adejimi Alagbado, amongst others. The evening of worship at his ancestral home provides another opportunity for his children to sing, dance and worship God for the life of their father, who lived as a devout Christian.
From Lagos State, BJ Sachs.
whatever you choose to become, he will support you and he will spur you on. And he'll tell you ideas, he'll tell you, he'll encourage you. And that is who my father was.
A man loved by members of his immediate community, having lived amongst them, and they come out in their numbers during the line-in state to honor him.
Did not forget to deliver his promise by giving them electricity.
Wọ́n ṣe tó yẹ kó ṣe láti bu ẹ̀yẹ ìkẹyìn fún bàbá olóògbé Bámidélé Ìṣọ̀lá Olúmilúà. Fún òun lálẹ́ ayẹyẹ olóògbé ètò bá ìlànà ìlú ọ̀gbọ̀n pàrọ̀lẹ̀. They are going to display their peace. Àti ní bàbá òun ọbẹ̀ ìlú lórí àwọn ọ̀tọ̀ ní bàbá Olúmilúà.
Ojú bàbá kòkó, ojú bàbá kòkó.
Ayẹyẹ ojú bàbá kòkó.
Abakọ̀ lọ ẹgbẹgbẹ̀rún onílélá dìde dọ́rọ́pọ̀ rẹ̀ lórúkọ Jésù. Ní àṣàmúbọ́lú kẹrẹ́ o, àdá wá òkànkàn tì lulú.
The wakekeep followed the next day as they continued to celebrate the life of evangelist Olumilua.
And he said unto me, It is done. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. I will give unto him that is athirst of the fountain of the water of life freely.
Guys, step and leave there now.
If there is no restoration, then is Christ not rising. And if Christ is not rising, then is our preaching vain, and your faith is also vain.
And then came the final day of his funeral. The Olumilua daughters take to the stage to render their father's favorite song.
fọkàn mi là mo ṣe rántí. Gbogbo ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ tó wà lọ́rùn mi ni bàbá dáríjì. Oore ọ̀fẹ́ tí Jésù sì bọ́ sínú ọkàn mi. Ìwọ tó fẹ́ bá Jésù lọ. Bá Jésù lọ ní o. Jésù kò sì bọ́ sínú ayọ̀ rẹ̀. Tó fẹ́ bá Jésù lọ. Bá Jésù kò sì bọ́ sínú ayọ̀ rẹ̀.
Governor Kayode Fayemi and his wife Erelu Bisi, Deputy Governor of the state Bisi Egbeyemi, former Governor of Ekiti State Ayo Fayose, former Governor of Ondo State Olusegun Mimiko are some of the dignitaries present here.
Praying that God of heaven and earth, each one of them, as a rising star, will shine in light in the name of Jesus.
Just after that, there are special prayers for the family before the final journey begins. And then he's taken to the final resting place, Olumilua Vaults.
If it's so amount and we parents, we movements, we appreciate it. A man of purpose. Rest in peace. Yeah.
He told me a story about once when I was a little boy, and I just looked at him and told him that, Daddy, when I grow up, will I look like you? And he just laughed, and somehow that touched a chord within him. He was a parent, he was a father, he was someone who taught me my first steps, taught me how to walk, and by first steps I don't just mean the actual, physical walking. I'm referring to everything that has to do with my life.
We had this deep, bond of affection. That's him and I. And it was like, my father could do no wrong in my own eyes.
A difficult moment for his family, but they are, however, consoled by the life he lived and the impact he made.
Daddy used to call me Mama di Mama. Mama di Mama. And I was wondering, so my mom told me it was from day one that she had me, and then while waiting in the hospital for him to come. And once he saw me, he said, "Oh, this is Mama." And then he gave me his grandma, his paternal grandma's name, Olugbesoye. And for each time, and then my eldest sister was telling me the other day that she remembers when I was a baby, and then I was probably just crying for making a fuss. And Daddy held me and said, "Mama, my cake, to a baby." I thought that was really hilarious. But I don't know what it was, but Daddy and I just had a bond.
When I was younger, I thought my daddy was everything. And I said, "You know what, Daddy, don't grow older, because when I'm older, I'm going to marry you." And he said, "Okay, we have an agreement. I won't grow older, so you can marry me." So when I got married to my husband, he would say, "You promised to marry me," and I'm like, "Yes, you broke the agreement because you got older." But it just shows you that I saw Daddy as a perfect example of what a man should be like.
A reception is held for guests.
From day one, when I went to his house, I wanted to marry his daughter. The very first day I stepped into his house, he immediately said, after meeting me and we spoke for about half an hour, he just said, "No, go and tell me choose a date that you want to get married, and I'll be in support." And he has been a father, that anyone could wish for.
My grandpa was a very good man. My dad always told me stories of him, how he was a disciplinarian and always teaching him the right way to do.
He was a very kind person. He was a bit strict. He's a disciplinarian. He's so kind. He's generous. He's a hospitable person.
Renowned gospel artist Tope Alabi is on the bandstand and all through the event entertains everyone, delivering some of her hit songs as they take turns to dance and celebrate their father. A packed 5 days it's been for the people of Ondo and Ekiti states, but most importantly for the children celebrating their father, His Excellency, Evangelist Bamidele Shola Olumilua, in a way truly befitting of an icon. May his soul continue to rest in peace.
Well, he has played his part and raised accomplished children who will take up from where he stopped. May his gentle soul rest in peace. And our condolences to his family. Well, that's it. Thank you so much for staying tuned to Metrofile this week. To view this and past editions of the show, please do log on to channelstv.com. Follow us on all our social media handles, and also you can reach us with the number blinking on your screen. Thank you once again for watching. I am Ogechukwu Ose, and it's goodbye from Ekiti State.